You don't always need someone to tell you what decisions to make. Sometimes you just need to work out the decisions for yourself. I've realized something about life. Two people can be presented with the same options, but their outcome can be totally different, and that's fine. We're all trying to build a different life, and that's what we should normalize. So today, rather than just telling you what I chose, let's work it out together. Let's imagine this. You have two job options. One option is a fairly traditional role. It gives you the flexibility that you want, and it also helps you build the kind of life that you actually want to build for yourself, right? The other one is a shift-based role. It can even potentially give you more flexibility and make you more available for some family responsibilities. You want to make a decision between these two good options, and then you speak to a friend about it. And they go, "Oh, I'll definitely choose the night shift. It's less stressful." And then you start thinking, wait a minute, does it actually fit the kind of life that I'm building for myself? Am I choosing what works for me or what works for my life? Or am I slowly being persuaded that what works for somebody else might work for me too? That's where I actually think we should stop trying to choose or actually work it out. Whenever I'm faced with a significant decision, these are the questions I come back to. Question one: what life am I trying to build? This is my first question because honestly, I think we often start in the wrong place. We start with which job pays more? Which option is easier? What would you do? What would everybody else choose? But I think the better question is, what kind of life am I actually trying to build? My answer to that question has changed over the years. I'm no longer just thinking about the next job or the next opportunity. I'm thinking about the bigger picture: my family, my time, my energy, my kind of work, the business I want to build, and the life I want to build as a whole. So suddenly, the decision isn't simply day shift versus shift work. It's actually which one fits the life I'm trying to create. My desired life: family, energy, time, meaningful work, growth, flexibility. Then I ask myself, what does each option actually give me, and what does it take from me? Because every choice has a price. We sometimes just look at the benefits and completely ignore the costs. Now let's look at two options, right? I'm going to draw two columns. This is option A, and this is option B. So option A gives me a predictable routine, normal working hours, energy after work, right? Fits some priorities. It's local and convenient. Now let's look at option B, right? More flexibility. It's a shift pattern, different recovery needs, solves other problems, different demands, right? And this is where you actually need to be really, really honest with yourself, because something that is of benefit to one person can be at a very high cost to another person. Someone might thrive on a shift work, and some other person can find it completely draining for them. Someone might value having certain days free. Someone else might value having their evenings and weekends protected. Neither person is necessarily wrong. They're simply working with different priorities. Now, question 3: which problem am I willing to solve? Right? Now, this one is probably my favorite question, because sometimes there is no perfect option. You are simply choosing which problem you are willing, or let me say, which problem you are better equipped to solve. Whilst one option might create a childcare problem, another might create an energy problem where you're totally drained and you don't even have energy left to do anything else that is meaningful to you or that you really want to do. One option might give you more money, but less time. Another might give you more time, but less income. So I ask myself, which problem is more solvable for me? So option A is problem one. Option B is problem two. Which problem? And this is where decision making becomes much more practical because you're no longer asking which option is perfect. Neither may be. Sometimes the better option isn't the one with no problems at all. It's the one with problems you're actually equipped to solve. So now, number 4 question. Does this move me closer? Right? So let's draw a little graph here. Today, this is today. This is you working towards your future. Desired future. And finally, I ask, if I make this choice, does it move me closer to the person and to the life that I'm trying to build? Not tomorrow, not just next month. I'm thinking about the direction because a decision doesn't have to completely transform your life. It just needs to move you in the right direction. Option A. Now, we're circling the one that moves you better to the life that you're trying to build. Whereas this, and that's how I approach a decision like this. I don't simply choose because someone else thinks one option is better than the other. I don't choose because one option looks easier. I don't even choose simply because everyone else is choosing it. I choose based on the life that I'm building. And that's something I've had to learn through experience. Now, here's the big lesson. And this is the bit I really want you to take away from all of this. Your friend's answer doesn't have to be your answer. Your colleague's answer does not have to be your answer. Your parents' answer does not have to be your answer. And sometimes, even the answer that looks best on paper doesn't necessarily have to be your answer. So when you're stuck between two options, don't immediately ask, which one should I choose? Or ask, which one is better? Ask, better for what? Desired life, your options, the cost of each options, problem I'm willing to solve, which moves me closer to my life that I want to build. Yeah. And then my decision, right? That's my formula. And here's the interesting thing. The formula can stay exactly the same, but the answer can be totally different for you or for me. And that's the whole point. I'm not here to tell you whether to pick the day shift or the shift role, that is the night shift. I'm not here to tell you to leave your job or start a business or move house or stay where you are. I'm teaching you how to work out what makes sense for you. Think about one decision you're currently struggling with. Don't ask anybody else what they think just yet. Get a piece of paper, write down, what life am I trying to build? What are my options? What does each option cost me? Which problem am I willing to solve? Finally, which option moves me closer to the life I'm trying to build for myself? You might not get an answer immediately, but at least now you're working out your own answer because your life doesn't have to look like someone else's for you to be successful. You just need to make choices that make sense for the life that you are trying to build, one intentional choice at a time. Please do well to share this video to anyone that you know might need this information. And also, please check in the description below for links that might be very useful to you. Remember to always always choose your tomorrow. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.